Hello everybody, welcome to Sure Shot Archery. Anthony here. In this video, I'm going to be giving you my review of the Mantis X8 Archery Shooting Analysis System. Alright, so what parts of the Mantis will we be covering in this video? Well, it's going to be a full review. I will have links in the description to the Mantis Archery website for more information from the manufacturer and links to purchase it down below as well. So if you want to check them out and get a price, you're more than welcome. But we're also going to be touching on things like, well, what is the Mantis, X8 Archery? What are the good major points of it? Does it have any bad points? And what was my overall experience with it? Well, we're going to go through all of them right now, starting with what is Mantis. So the Mantis X8 Archery Smart Sensor is designed and programmed well for archery, and it's designed to read the motions and movement of your bow from this little device here. This little device is attached to your bow, and it then reads that information, all that movement in your bow, and relays it back to your phone. The info is displayed through the Mantis app that's on your phone, and of course it's coming from this device, as I just said. It's displayed on a handy app that gives you charts and graphs and things like that to help you further understand your whole shot process and how you go about shooting it. The way the Mantis X8 is attached to your phone is via Bluetooth, for those that are curious. So you do get some range between the device and your phone before they disconnect. Now for some really good points of the Mantis X8. First off, the first one you notice right away is, well, the charts. Once you get the device hooked up and calibrated to your bow and hooked up to the app, the charts on this device are amazing. You can see your full setup from everywhere from drawing back to anchoring to the release. It does a really good job of tracking all those movements, and it even color coordinates them so that you can get an idea on if you spend excessive amounts of time between maybe holding or drawing back. You can see where each shot is and how they all lay out together. And information wise, it's definitely one of the best for visually displaying that to you. With that, this app also lets you kind of track your arrows. Each end you can manually adjust the placement of the arrow on the target to help increase the accuracy of the app itself, because it's just taking information from the feedback of your bow and just how long you take to shoot, and the can of your bow. It's taking all these into consideration, and then giving you a score 1 through 100 on that, with being as close as possible to 100 is the best you can achieve. So for me, for example, on the several times I'm trying it, I'm averaging about a 95.1, and of course the more I practice, the more that average will get adjusted, and I can see my rolling averages from other ends, so I can just keep doing multiple sessions, and I can see how each average of those sessions adds up over time and over sequential arrow count. So when you go 30, 60, 90, 120 and so forth in your arrow count, you can see how your score adjusts over time. And of course, the closer to 100 you get, the better it is, or at least the better you should be shooting, because you should be more consistent and have less movement in your shot. Now, the Mantis X8 comes with everything you need. You get great directions explaining how to attach your device not only to your bow, but downloading the correct app to attach it to your phone. You get a nice traveling case to stick your Mantis X8 back into, so you can travel safely with it to tournaments. You don't have to worry about it getting damaged. And of course, they even give you instructions on how to properly apply the Mantis to your bow with the supplied tape, and explain to you how to clean your bow so that it adheres to it properly and stays there for forever. If you really want it to stay there forever, that's completely up to you. There is also a charger included, so you don't have to supply your own micro USB charger. That is there, which is very handy, and just another thing that you don't have to worry about. So overall, the Mantis X8 is a pretty easy tool. It clicks pretty easily right onto your bow. and it stays in place. And then you're ready to shoot and record your scores and just see how you're performing. Now, in this next section, I'm going to get into some, I guess, improvement points you would call it, or things that I noticed that if they improve them, I think it would just make this an even better tool for archery. So in this next section, we're going to go through those points. So the first point I noticed that needs to be improved, or at least in my opinion improved, if you give your string a little pluck like that, nothing crazy, you're not doing any damage to your bow. But if you have the app set up and you already have it in your scoring session, it's going to record that as a shot. You know, not the worst thing in the world, but it could be a little bit of a nuisance that is not, you know, that enjoyable or not really what you're looking for. Again, it really doesn't affect the overall performance of this device, but it is something I would like to see them kind of get rid of, because if I do something like this, it really should not be recording on the app as me actually shooting the bow. Next up is the app only records 30 arrows at a time. So at number 31, you have to remember to reset your app and have it, you know, restart from a fresh, you know, count of 30, you know, resetting your average for this next session. In my opinion, as an Olympic recurve shooter who shoots tournaments, you know, at minimum indoors of 60 arrows for score, outdoors a minimum of 72 arrows for score, I think it would be way more helpful if this device recorded 100 arrows in a row. I know it's a lot more than 72, but we'll make it a nice, you know, even number. 100 arrows in a row before having to reset it. Even if it was 80 or 90 arrows, that would still be excellent, because that way I could go and plot and look at the charts for all my practice arrows and then all my scored arrows and kind of see if anything goes wrong. Do I suddenly start holding more when I'm, you know, actually scoring? Do I, for some reason, shoot sloppier shots in practice and then get my act together and shoot really well when I'm scoring? Just things like that. It would be nice to see across a larger field, and just be able to have your average score, you know, that 95.1 I was talking about, that's my score at the moment. It would be nice to see that for a whole set of arrows, not just 30, because I would really need to reset it 3 times for one tournament. Next up, the number that you're given. So you know that average score I'm talking about, that 95.1, which is out of 100. So 1 through 100, closer you get to the 100, the better it is. To me, it seems kind of arbitrary. So at 70 meters, yeah, I get 1 score, about 95.1. But when I go to 30 meters, it gets better. Yes, I'm moving less, but really, should it really move that much? Well, I then tried out some bare bow, and I shot that from like 10 meters, and my score went up even more. So I feel like the number itself that you're getting for your average, or, you know, for your performance score, I really think it should have more meaning. It just feels like, oh, well, try to get to 100, instead of making it a number that you should keep trying to, you know, associate with. I feel like this number should be more personal, where it's not just, oh, you're a 95, I'm a 96, I'm a little closer to 100, I'm a little better. Like, I don't mind it being a game like that, but if I'm looking to use this device as a self-improvement tool for my own archery, I want to be able to use that number as a reference for, I shot really well today. I was within, you know, 0.5 of my number 45. You know, I was between 45.5 and 44.5 the whole day. You know, technically that's 0.1, but you get what I mean. It should be a closer range, and if you have an off day, maybe it's spread out by like 0.1, 0.2, you know, and the less accurate you shoot, you know, form-wise, the numbers range increases. I feel like it should have a spectrum like that, instead of it just being I guess more of a gradient in a way. Just, that objective of just trying to get to the top number. I feel like it should be more associated with you, the archer. So I feel like there should be a way to either lock your number in by distance or not even have it on a scale of 1 to 100 with the goal of trying to be as close to 100 as possible. Like, that's nice, but maybe they need a second number that's more related just to you and just how you're doing with your form. Because at the end of the day, this is a form and a shot analysis tool. It's not a comparison tool between you and another shooter. I guess you could make it into one if you really wanted to, but for me, I'm using this tool to analyze myself and improve my shooting. That's why you generally would pick up something like this. So I think the number they provide should be a little bit more catered in that direction than making it into a competition, because at the competition, it's not like you can use this device anyway. It's electronic, so I'm very sure by World Archery rules you would have to remove it regardless. But I don't know, that's just some food for thought on that one. The only other thing that that was kind of interesting, and again, this one is definitely more my fault, but at the same point in time, Mantis actually has 2 apps. So Mantis, from my understanding, is originally a firearms company, and they made this tool to help you, do analysis on your shooting so that you can improve and be more accurate at target shooting. Well, they then applied this technology to archery. Well, at the same point in time, they made 2 separate apps. So at one point, I accidentally downloaded the firearms one, and I'm like, where's all the bow stuff? Why isn't this working? Well, it turns out there was a second app, and of course, since it's archery, it's not as popular because there's only so many of us at this point in time. We're working on that though, and I had to download that app to make it work. It turns out the firearms one is just for firearms. So it'd be nice if there was a little more synergy between the 2 apps where you only needed one, but I can see why they do 2 different ones for the simplicity, because I guess they want to really be able to cater each product to 2 different groups. Yes, they're both shooting targets per se, but one is just a bow and arrow and the other one is a firearm. Again, more me on that one than them, but just a little 2 cents I'm putting out there. It would have been nice if it was one app and you could just toggle between the 2. What you gonna do? So with that, that is my review on the Mantis X8 Archery shooting analysis system. Overall, it's a great tool. The charts are definitely top-notch. I think there's little things to work on here or there, but I think for the average person and for just most people in general, this app definitely does. This app and this sensor, does the job, and it does the job well. Definitely one of the top ones on the market, and it'll be interesting to see how they develop it into the future since there is other competition out there. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to know the pricing and check out more information from Mantis, check out the links in the description down below. You can get the price, you can get more info, and other than that, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to check out the Sure Shot Archery Shop, give this video a like, and as always, happy shooting.